Thank you very much for visiting our video focused on the best investment opportunities in Africa. In our opinion, Africa is perhaps the most exciting investment destination globally. We've got a long track record in Africa's investment world. Within the team at the moment, we've got members who've run an African stock exchange, managed the largest Pan-African equity fund globally, run stockbroking companies in Africa, managed a stock exchange listed company, and built up the AFSIC Investing in Africa conference, perhaps Africa's leading investment event. So I think that we're really well positioned to assist you on the question of what are the best investment opportunities in Africa. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, then you'll find all the relevant links in the description below the video. If you're already on our website, then all the links will be on the website page. To save time, I won't expand further on our experience, but you'll be able to find out more about us by looking at the About Us link below. I also strongly recommend that you follow the subscribe to our mailers link in the description below so that we can send you a monthly email update on the best investment opportunities in Africa, completely free of charge. There are a substantial number of reasons why we believe Africa presents an incredible investment opportunity for those with a long-term outlook, including the fact that Africa is undiscovered relatively from a global investment perspective, resulting in what we think are low valuations both in African debt and equity investments, which we believe offer attractive entry points, especially when compared to valuations in many more developed markets. PE ratios are mid-teens and return on equity is mid to high 20s. In addition, and very importantly, Africa is experiencing a massive population boom. Currently, 17% of the world's population is African. At current rates of growth, Africa is growing by the equivalent population of France every 2 years and will double again by 2050. It's expected to double yet again between 2050 and 2100 to 4.3 billion people, or as much as 40% of the world's population. So why is population important? Well, since the 1960s, Africa's GDP per head has been growing as Africa has developed. Unless that trend changes, in other words, Africans start becoming poorer, something we think very unlikely, then the strong demographic growth will lead to strong GDP economic growth as a matter of fact. So in common with many other countries that experienced rapid growth in the working age population, we expect Africa to benefit substantially from a baby boom. In this context, it's worth noting that the developed world is aging very rapidly, and now even China is seeing its working population shrink annually. We should remember that Africa's economic growth is also coming off a low base, translating into GDP growth rates that are significantly higher than in more developed countries as the continent plays catch up, and in many cases jumps ahead with the use of new technology or methods of operating, for instance, renewable energy, online education, etc. Africa, therefore, provides access to growth, and we see this in the higher earnings growth rates of many listed corporates. In fact, we believe that market capitalization to GDP is the lowest globally from a regional level, and as such, investors are likely to benefit from capital market growth in the coming decades. Of course, the arrival of the internet and other forms of communication, such as mobile phones, will increasingly lead to global companies offshoring in Africa to benefit from the low wage costs and increasingly well-educated workforce, something that we do ourselves with our own company. All the time, more people are coming into the workforce rapidly, as electrification is happening fast in Africa, and as the need for large power plants, in most cases, imported coal falls away to be replaced by solar and other forms of power generation that are considerably less expensive to implement and which don't require such an extensive power backbone as is found in countries that are electrified earlier. The workforce is also being bolstered by rapid urbanization in Africa, as the population moves from the rural areas into the cities, where they're more likely to benefit from formal employment. And finally, Africa's benefited from significantly improved monetary and fiscal policy over the past 3 decades. This has resulted in, amongst other things, lower interest rates, manageable inflation levels, stable currencies, and African public debt levels that are low compared to those in developed markets. So having discussed the broad economic conditions that look very favourable for Africa's emergence, it's our opinion Africa is following Asia's development path, and the coming decades will see a strong rise in incomes, continued reduction in poverty, and substantial economic gains for the investors who get in early. As a reminder, if you'd like to be kept updated free monthly on the best investment opportunities in Africa, then please do follow the links below this video and subscribe to our mailers free of charge. So having set the economic case for investing in Africa, let me talk some more about how to invest into Africa. You already may know that Africa is a diverse continent with a huge geographic size, equivalent to the US, Western Europe, India, China, and Japan combined. There are 19 stock exchanges on the continent that offer access to some of Africa's high-growth stocks. We believe that in general, African stock exchanges are undervalued compared to developed stock exchanges, and that many stocks offer exceptional value, bearing in mind the likely growth that we expect Africa to experience in coming years. When global appetite for investing in African debt and equity assets rises, it could probably lead to a sharp and sustained increase in share and debt prices as it comes from a relatively low base. As such, we believe that now is an excellent entry point for investors into Africa. The South African and the Egyptian stock markets are diverse by sector, while the Nigerian stock market is driven by oil production and the Kenya Stock Exchange by agriculture. New sectors have become evident on African stock exchanges in the last decade, such as telecommunications and consumer companies, and we expect this trend to accelerate. So how to invest into African stocks? The comments that I'm going to make assume that you're looking to invest into shares, equities, bonds, or other traded products in Africa. It also assumes that you're not an institutional investor, i.e. a professional investment firm. If you're looking to invest into other asset classes, or you are a professional investment firm, then you can contact us for more bespoke suggestions. There are essentially three options for a non-institutional investor to invest into African shares and fixed income or debt products. Option 1. Invest into an Africa-focused professional fund manager. They search the African continent for the best shares to buy now in Africa, and using their knowledge of recent currency movements, up-to-date assessment of the political situation in countries across Africa, and the movement of fund flows into and out of stock exchanges on the continent, the professional fund managers will select the most appropriate investment for their funds. So when you invest into a fund, you're investing into a parcel of shares that together should make up a diversified portfolio, allowing you to benefit from Africa's future growth. We're related to an African fund management company called Adventis Limited. Option 2. Purchase an African exchange-traded fund. Buying an exchange-traded fund, or ETF, has become a normal part of investment in the States and other developed nations. Low trading costs and simplicity of purchase are major reasons behind the surge in interest in ETFs. Unfortunately, buying an ETF is not necessarily the answer for making an investment into Africa. There are a number of reasons behind this, including the fact that an ETF will have to purchase shares on a multitude of different stock exchanges. There are 19 in Africa, as mentioned before, with different brokerage and underlying commission charges, and liquidity is poor on the continent. Regular trading in some stocks might be expensive. Also, a passive approach to investing in Africa might result in your investments being subject to currency rate depreciation that an active manager might have been able to foresee. So option 3, direct account trading with stockbrokers on Africa's stock exchanges. You may want to consider opening a stockbroking account with leading brokers in one or more of the fastest growing African countries. This can be quick and easy, and brokers should be able to provide you with up-to-date stock recommendations. It's important that you do your due diligence on the brokerage firm carefully. Are the assets separated from company assets? What's the stock exchange's policy in the event of a broker going bankrupt? Larger brokerage firms may have more trading liquidity, but also the level of service that you receive may be lower than that of more bespoke firms. ASEA, ASEA, is the official organisation for Africa's stock exchanges. You can review their website and discover which African countries have stock exchanges and from there research which stockbrokers you might like to use to purchase or sell investments directly. So thank you for listening all the way to the end of this video on the best investment opportunities in Africa. As a reminder, if you'd like to get free monthly updates on the best investment opportunities in Africa, then please do subscribe to our mailers by following the links below. Thank you.